Hello, YouTube world. My name is Inez, and I'm here because I wanted to document my experience with thyroid disease. I was sitting on the couch today watching some TV, Modern Family, funny, and it just occurred to me to create a YouTube channel, so I decided to. I was diagnosed with thyroid disease in January of 2013. I've had no issues for the last 3.5 years, absolutely none, up until September of 2016. I decided recently to find out whether I have a history of the disease, and I checked with my sisters in the Bahamas, and they said no, no one in the family has it. I called Dad just to kind of do another check, and because I know my aunts who were heavier than the most had they had some issues, but it wasn't thyroid. Dad told me it wasn't thyroid issues, so I'm just kind of baffled as to why and how I got the disease. So I remember a period of probably 2 years back, I ate nothing but soy products. Our church has this fast that they have every year in January, and I typically would dabble with a lot of the soy products, which I liked. So I started, using a lot of it. Well, I remember every day I would have at least the venti cup of white mocha from Starbucks, and I always asked for soy milk. And I did that for a very long time. My lunch, I would go to this awesome Vietnamese organic Thai restaurant, and they would create this fried rice with soy, and I ate a lot of that. The burgers, all of the Morningstar products, I would eat a lot of that, create meals from that, and not sure, but I kind of figure that probably why. It's an assumption, I don't know, because I kind of went and did some research as to things that create issues for your thyroid, and that was a huge epiphany there. And pretty much African American women is what I was reading should not have soy products. I was told it also can be brought on by stress. So I don't know if that was the case. I know I was dealing with a lot, deciding whether or not I should walk out of my marriage because of the issues I was dealing with my then husband. So I don't know, maybe it could have been the stress, maybe it was the soy, I'm not sure, but it's not a family history, so it is what it is. Just to tell you a little bit about what's going on. In September, I started having these heart palpitations that just don't understand where they came from. And I didn't even associate it with that. I know that when I went into the doctor the first time it happened, they wanted to check my T3s and T4s. So when they did that, they were a little high. At that point, I kind of went at least another 4 or 5 times to the doctor because emergency, because of my heart. They had to hook me up to the monitors to make sure everything was okay, and check and make sure the numbers were, not elevated for such long periods of time. My heart rate, literally, I remember looking at it one time at 128. Imagine that. Just happened a lot. Still happening every day. And I started researching, and I found that, yeah, that's one of the symptoms of thyroid disease. I was diagnosed with hyperthyroid disease when I know that I have a lot of friends who have the hypo, and I just assumed that maybe that's the one I was going to get. And only because the 3.5 years, nothing happened to me. I know my weight was maintained pretty much for the last 17 years. I never fluctuated up and down. It just stayed at one number. And I figured, okay, well, maybe I have hypo, nothing's going on really. But I kind of went back looking at the first year I was diagnosed, and I saw the paper that my doctor gave me, and it said, if you're having this, and I checked off all the symptoms, which I was. I'm like, okay, it's hyper. Because I really didn't do much research in the last 3.5 years that I had no issues, only because I had no issues. It was only up until September that I started experiencing these things that I did the research. And some of the symptoms that I'm having right now, which is, again, the heart palpitation, which is the biggest, the rashes that I'm getting on my skin, I have them on my arms, and it's always pretty much in the kind of the, here, behind the knee as well, on my stomach. the rashes, and they itch like crazy. A few months back, I don't know what it was, but I was itching everywhere. My legs, my stomach, my head, my back, my arms, just itching. And I kind of started reading that you kind of find a way to not scratch so much, because then you turn into blisters. So I really, really worked hard on not trying to scratch as much so that they didn't turn into that. That is over. I don't scratch as much anymore. I just have the rashes in the place that I just said, and that's it. And they itch a lot. Again, I try not to. Hydrocortisone does not work for it. It is what it is. Hair loss. Last year, my hair started thinning. I didn't know why, really. Again, not something I associated with the thyroid. It was growing, but still I was losing it. I finally decided to cut my hair short, of which I did. And I went to my barber a couple of weeks back, and I asked him to do something with my hair, kind of cut it a certain way, and he literally shaved it all off. I do not know why they don't get it. You give them a picture and it turns out to be something totally different. Well, he cut the hair short, and it's taking a lot longer for my hair to grow. So I'm realizing it's a lot more intense now than it was back a few months back. I want to say August, September, October, fine. But it started getting a lot thinner right around November. So right now it's taking a lot longer to grow, which is why I have the scarf on. I don't really want to show my hair. It's one of the things I like about my face. My hair kind of gives it that even more of that, for lack of a better way, that beautiful look. So I don't really like showing it. It's why I have the scarf on. I am now resorting to having to wear wigs until prayerfully my hair starts growing again. I have shakes in my hands and my legs. In my legs, it's worse. I hate when I'm driving and I'm at a red light, and you kind of pull your foot off the gas and put it on the brakes. The pressure's not the same, and my feet start shaking there. And then when I put it back on the gas, it starts shaking. So I kind of sometimes have to pull over to the side of the road just to kind of, until it kind of stops doing what it's doing. I also have breathing issues. I can't really talk for long periods without taking that breath, and you probably can tell I've kind of mastered working at that to where it's seamless and not so obvious. Still having the heart palpitations. I've had sinus issues for a while now. This nostril here literally stays bloody. The other side does, but not as much as the left. And I'm going to be really gross right now. I've been very mucousy since September, extremely. I am bringing up saliva a lot more than I need to. I hate it. It's really like an inconvenience to me. My bowel movements. I can go to the bathroom 6 to 7 times a day, which that in itself creates its own issues. You know what I mean? And I guess it's kind of one of the reasons why I'm now, the weight loss is so rapid. I've lost since September a total of 65 pounds. Probably can't tell that here, but I was 223. And to be honest with you, wasn't fat. I'm a solid person, wasn't fat at all. And I lost that much weight since September, 65 pounds. I can promise you that every day I get on that scale, it's about a pound less the day after. And that's really bothering me. I don't really like that. I'm used to my body being a certain way, a fuller face. I'm doing this video right now and I can see my face right now. It doesn't look as thin as you would see me in person, I guess because of what they say the camera does, but I'm a lot thinner than I want to be. I eat every day. Like I eat, trying to eat at least, to gain that weight, but this is the thyroid disease. It's not doing anything to me. My heart rate is elevated every day. I'm going to the bathroom every day, 6 times a day. So there's no way that food's staying in. As soon as I eat, I kid you not, 10 minutes later, I'm in the bathroom. It's like my body's metabolism has literally sped up 100 times more then it's average. When my friends see me, wow, Inez, you look good. And I have to think to myself, okay, well, I can't, well, I can't complain about that. And all I can say is thank you. And then I think, wow, we can do anything. We want to do anything to lose the weight. To where someone who has thyroid disease, hyperthyroid disease, is okay because you're losing the weight, right? And it's not that simple at all. I could die. That's the worst of it. I've heard about the thyroid storms. I'm praying I don't ever get one of those, because that's at the point where everything happens at the same time. You can imagine your heart going crazy, your breathing going crazy, the itching in the head. That drives me even more crazy than the body. And the shivers and the hot and the cold. I can't stand heat. But when I'm in heat, I'm still freezing. I'm freezing. When I'm freezing, I'm shivering like crazy. Your body's temperature gauge is just off. And I can go to bed one night and just not wake up. How is that a good thing? I am not allowed the depression part of this disease to get me. I've never been that person, no matter what I'm dealing with, to allow my circumstances or my situation to take me to a place that I can't come out of. I'm no longer with Kaiser, which was my doctor, for the last 15 to 20 years. I think it's been 20 years plus. It's funny. I've kind of been joking that my God has a sense of humor. Only because it wasn't up until I left Kaiser in January 1st that something actually started happening for me medically with the doctors. I went to Kaiser. I had a lot of the instances where I went to the emergency room and it was just, hey, put her on the machine, get her checked out, make sure she's okay. Medication wasn't given to me. I went to the doctor several more times, over from my T3s and T4s to get them checked to make sure they're okay, because I can tell when I had the elevated moods that something was going on, because it would go for periods of time, not just a day. So I just didn't understand why nothing was prescribed. Well, no, I didn't understand. I was told that my T3s and T4s aren't consistent, so there's no reason to put me on meds. But I kind of feel, hindsight 2020, that at some point you guys should have given me some type of preventative to avoid where I'm now. But that's okay. I did ask my Heavenly Father to help me lose at least 30 pounds of weight that I had, because I was at 223. Being at 190, 195 was okay. Because if you can see me now at the weight that I am, looking at someone else, I am bones, right? Like I'm literally disappearing, okay? And I'm not complaining about it. Please understand that. I'm not complaining about it. It's just, this is not the weight that I'm used to. When I look in the mirror right now and I see my collarbones the way that they are, my face is shrunken in. I don't know if you can tell. My eyes, I don't typically wear my glasses. I typically have my contacts on, but they've been so itchy. I'm afraid of the bulging, happening, so I don't wear them. Anyways, I'm now seeing Dr. Shukala at Emory. My first appointment with him literally was last week, Monday. I saw him for the first time. Immediately, Dr. Shukala recommended that I go and get a ultrasound done on my thyroid and to see an endocrinologist immediately. He called me back 2 days later after he took labs and said that my T3s and T4s were through the roof. So I needed to get in ASAP. I scheduled the appointment with the ultrasound doctor and got my ultrasound checked on Friday of this week. It's March 18th. As I was laying down while she's putting the ultrasound on my neck, I wake up when she was done. I got up from the chair when she was done, and she said, "Are you going to see your doctor?" And I said, "Why?" She said, "I heard your blood vessels pumping like crazy." I said, "I know, I felt it." So she goes, are you going to see your doctor?" I said, "Yes, I have an appointment on Monday." She goes, "Okay, good. Make sure you keep that." When you hear things like that, that's a physician, right? A tech, lab tech, I mean, but they know the business, right? It's scary. At any point, my heart that has these crazy, crazy patterns that could potentially send me into cardiac arrest. It's scary. I have my appointment on Monday with the endocrinologist, and I thank God for that. I thank God for that. That sense of humor, right? I feel like, okay, this is what you had to do to get me to lose the weight. This is what you had to do to get me to change doctors. I don't know. Okay, no problem. But I pray and I hope that whatever treatment he prescribes is non-invasive and I can get my life back together. I will definitely update you on what's going on and let you know where I'm at. When you see me again, I'll probably have some hair on, okay? My contacts back again. Because I haven't had the itchy eyes in a couple of days, so hopefully that's a good sign, okay? You guys have an awesome day in YouTube world, and I'll be back. Have a great day.